All right, we're out at the home here of Chuck and Candy, out in Braun Station. Beautiful home. They've just been busy for a lot of years, military, you know, just had a lot on their plates, and now we're finally settling down. Chuck just retired. So they're looking to kind of refocus on the house and do some of the deferred maintenance stuff that's been piling up here, and starting with the siding. So looking at doing some siding work for them. We're doing probably about a 50%, a partial tear off, just because there is so much siding here. We have just about 27 squares of siding, so it's a much larger than normal job. So with that, looking at ways to make it as budget conscious as possible, but still do a great job that they expect. So we're doing a partial tear off. We would be doing a reconditioning of soffit, front porch ceiling, rear porch ceiling, and then basically a fascia overlay all the way around. They have the big 2x8 fascia, and that is, you know, that's something that we're going to put Hardie on there to prevent any kind of rot or anything else.
Brian, I hate you.
All right, so we'd be looking at doing a fascia overlay on everything. Basically, reconditioning of the soffit, like I said, front porch ceiling, rear porch ceiling, and also doing some ancillary painting that we'll look at as we do this too. So first of all, we do have a couple spots that are causing them problems as far as critters and things like that. That's why you see the owl hanging there. So woodpeckers, they had a raccoon, I guess the size of a medium-sized dog, that was using their basement as a shelter. So this is really going to prevent that from happening again, and give them just peace of mind of knowing they're not going to have to maintain it. So we are going to need some pretty significant laddering out here. I think talking about that's 40 some odd feet to the peak up there. So probably okay. So looking at all this, you know, we would be using some laddering and probably catwalk kind of stuff. But that's what we have over here. We're using 8 1/4 cedar mill select siding. And they really want to match the same color. So we have, Chuck has the paint can. They've used Sherwin-Williams before. So we can get the color scheme, the color codes from them, and just have that made at Sherwin-Williams. This porch railing and banister and all this, excuse me, that is going to be painted. We're not going to do anything else to it. We're going to paint it. And then you can see the porch ceiling up in here. All of that will be painted as well. Just the same way we'd paint the Hardie plank siding. So all these, all the door trim, the window trim, the 1x4, that's all going to be replaced with Hardie. All the capping over the windows will be done with Hardie. We talked about flashing. Flashing is going to be critical on this house just because there's so much sidewall that dies into the roof line. So that's going to be key in terms of doing a good job for them and making sure that they're not having more problems. Up top, we have the chimney. That's where I think they said the raccoon was getting in. So you can see they put a piece of Hardie up there to try to prevent it. But we're going to fix the back side of that chimney and get that all dialed in for them, nice and neat, so no more critters getting in. Gable vents will all be retrimmed in Hardie trim, Hardie 1x4, even on the circle vents. Here we have some good rot going on right here and down at the base here, where it's a little more protected and can't get some good air. So that'll need to be torn off. This whole upper gable, a lot of the siding on the front can be salvaged, but this, we're not even gonna fool with this gable. It's probably the worst condition of all. So this gable, and then also that extends down to the back side behind the house, is all gonna be torn off, just so we can get a good understanding of what's back there, making sure there's no rot or anything going on. So we're definitely tearing off that. All the areas under the front porch, most of this up top, again, we're doing a very conservative tear off. You know, using what we can of the cedar to use as substrate, so we can try to save some dollars on the project for them. This area above, you know, above the garage, will become Hardie plank as well. They do have some exterior mount cameras, so those will take down and remount once we do the new Hardie. Garage door frame will all be wrapped in Hardie plank. We have a small gable right here, again, a very good candidate for overlay. And we'll be retrimming this vent just like we would a window penetration, as well as the upper vent up top. And of course all windows and doors. Going around to the back here. It's really going to be, these will be a good, really good opportunity for some before and after pictures. Again, this wall, great candidate for an overlay, as is most of the other siding back here, just because of the trees. It's been shaded. But again, from pretty much that 9-foot line up, and this entire gable, that needs to be torn off. We need to sheathe that with the OSB and then do our underlayment from there on out. Again, this is just all pretty straightforward. You know, most of this, probably 95% of this, is a good candidate for overlay, which means all the trim will come off, of course. All the window trim, 1x4, that'll all come off, but we're going to use the corner trim will all come off. But this siding itself will be used as substrate. This deck, basically what we're going to do here is we're going to treat this almost like fascia, and face the edge of that. It's a 12, it's a big old 2x12 cedar. So we're going to have to wrap that like we would fascia. And then basically just paint everything else. So all the rest of the porch ceiling, the little balcony area up there, that will be painted. And then all we're doing Hardie on is just this facing board all the way around. Everything underneath the porch ceiling, these big old 6x columns, that's all going to be painted, as well as the porch ceiling. So that won't be Hardie. The only thing we're going to Hardie that's kind of out of spec is just this big fascia board here, that big old 2x12. This little soffit area under here, just same treatment as the soffit everywhere else, just a reconditioning. Doors, we'll paint the doors the new color as well, the fresh coat of paint. It's going to be the same color, just a fresher look. So those doors will be painted as well. And then we're pretty much back to this side here. So again, you can see the stretch up there, so we're going to definitely need, you know, some laddering. I'm not sure if they want to hang the owls back up or not. I probably won't need to now that we have the Hardie. They won't be able to chew through it, so probably won't have any kind of consideration there. But again, you can see just cracking this here too. This from the chimney towards me, that's all going to be torn off. There's just too many suspect areas there to mess with. So this whole area that I'm looking at right now, from the chimney to the corner, this whole area right here will be torn off. Electrical boxes are on stone, so we're good to go there. So that's pretty much our scope of work. Chuck, Candy, really appreciate this morning and your guys' just willingness to learn everything I had to tell you. And it's going to be a great project. We're really looking forward to doing this for you. And like you mentioned to me early on, just not having maintenance and upkeep and every weekend figuring out what new you have to fix on the house. So we really look forward to being part of that solution for you. Thanks so much, guys. Look forward to working for you.